Welcome back. In this video, we are going to go through Chapter 6, Exercise 5. So I believe that had we been doing the text assignment by hand, this assignment is asking you to fully dimension the part. In this class right now, we are going to draw the part in Inventor and then dimension it on a drawing sheet. So I do want you guys to practice looking at the top view and the front view and the side view if they have it, and work on, in your head, giving this a 3D view, visualizing the part. So if you look at just the front view, well, you can only tell so much information, right? It almost looks like maybe like a building from a side view or something. And then if you look at the top, you can see like, okay, it has this little curve right here, kind of looks like a track and field type thing, like an overhead of it. And you see some circles over here, and you should see that this circle lines up right here. And then these two circles kind of give you a tiered effect, like a wedding cake or something. You should see that this hole right here, over here, is actually hidden lines with a center line in the middle. So that way you know that this is a hole right there due to the hidden lines. And over here, it's not a hole. It's actually a cylinder being tiered on top. So we'll go over to Inventor. Again, I think we did this last week, but it says the grid spacing is 0.2 inches. Let's use nice whole numbers. So we are going to draw this in Inventor. I'm going to try splash top this time, and hopefully it's not too much toggling back and forth, because it's not super easy with the recording software. I don't know what I'm looking at here. So let's just minimize that. Hopefully I'm not messing up some random dude's work. All right, where are we at? Inventor Professional 2020. Okay. So the first thing is that we have the shape where it's like a rectangle and then two half circles. And I encourage you to have this in front of you, since it's not easy for me to be toggling back and forth. It'd be easier if you had it in front of you to follow along as I describe the part. And I'm going to be doing the same thing as well. So the first thing I see is I'm looking at the top view, because that's what I'm going to start with. And I'm going to start a new part. Make sure you're in English, standard IPT. Lightning fast. There we go. Start 2D sketch. I like the XY. Although this one, it actually might make sense because we're starting with the top view to do it on, I can't quite, is it the XZ plane? Hard to tell. And so I don't get yelled at by you guys. There we go. Okay. There are several ways to draw the first shape. And I'm going to start by drawing the track. Like the curve, the straight, the curve, and then the straight. You could begin by doing like a rectangle. And remember, the pull down gives you different options. You can start with a rectangle right here, click, and you could then tell the height to be, looks like 6. Notice, and then I'm going to hit tab, which will give me the length, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And another thing you can do, I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm going to hit circle. And remember, look in the bottom left. It says select center of circle. The bottom left will always tell you what Inventor wants from you. You can kind of click the midpoint. Notice how when you go near the midpoint, my cursor, that little dot goes from like yellow to green. It clicked on the midpoint. And then you can either enter 6, or you can just kind of drag it to the top, and then boom. Same thing right here. Click and go. I'm going to hit escape. And I want to show you a new feature called trim and extend. So I'm going to hit trim. And what trim does is it will delete geometry between two other lines. So I'm going to hit trim, and then when I go right here, it would delete, you can see what's hidden, right, or which is dashed. It would delete this arc from where it connects to two other pieces of object line. So if I go right here, boom, trims that, trims that, trims that. Actually, it won't trim that. So this won't trim right here because there's nothing to trim to. That little segment right here is just a line. So you would have to then hit escape, click, delete. Click, delete. Okay, so now I have the geometry drawn. Another cool tool is extend. Extend is like the opposite of trim. So if I extend it, you click on a line and then it'll extend the trajectory until it connects with a new piece right here. So if I had a random line right here and then I extended this arc, it would only go up until it hits the next piece. It doesn't like it because it's tangents and whatnot. So let me show you like a slightly different example. I have a line and I'm going to hit extend and it'll connect that to the next piece right there. Okay, so that's one way to do it. It's actually a pretty bad way to do it. So I really showed you that to show you alternatives and to teach trim and extend. Instead, I'm going to go over to the drop down and I'm going to do the slot center to center. Slot center to center basically will draw the full geometry for me. So I'm going to hit that, and what do I do first? How does this slot command work? When in doubt, look in the bottom left. Select start center point. Okay, so I'm going to do like the center of the one arc. I'll do the origin. And then it says select end center. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I'm perfectly horizontal, and the next center is, what was it? We said 9 units away. I'm going to hit 9. Okay. And then, look. Now it wants you to know what the diameter is, or the height. So I think it was 6. And boom, we're done. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to delete it to show you one more way to do it. I'm going to do and I'm showing you this not because you would do it in this instance, but because you're going to learn a new tool to be able to draw future things. So I'm more showing you features than I am explaining how to draw this. I'm not just here to help you draw this one part and then not have that skill be transferable. I'm trying to teach you many features so you can draw whatever you want. Alright, so I'm going to go back to do a, where was I? Sketch. Rectangle, rectangle. And I'm going to do the, did I delete my origin? No, okay. And I'm going to draw my overall dimensions of this part. So from end to end is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, right? 15 is the total length, and then the height is 6. So it wants height first, so 6, tab, 15. Okay? And now to do curved edges, you can do a fillet. A fillet will take a squared off edge and give you a curve. So fillet, what do I do next? Well, when in doubt, look at what it says. So first, it's going to want you to type in right here what you want the radius to be. In this case, I want it to be 3. And then it says to click on the lines, basically. So line 1, click. Line 2, click. Boom, curve. 1, 2, curve, good. 1, 2, click. Line 1, line 2, boom, done. We just drew the same geometry 3 different ways. Which way is the best? Well, none of them are that bad. The slot command is the easiest, so that'll be the one I'll do. So I'm going to quickly regenerate the slot, even though I could have proceeded with that one. What did I say? 9, enter, 6, enter. And I'm going to finish that sketch. And now I'm going to extrude that. Where'd it go? There it is. 3. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to do, well, I'm going to pause here for a second, and this is actually probably something I should have mentioned before, in that up until this week, I believe every part we've done, you were able to complete in one sketch. This I could not do in one sketch. So I have to do this part in a series of steps. So we're going to have to use multiple sketches. How many sketches? Well, I guess at a minimum I can see I can do this in as few as 2 and as many as 4 realistically. Does it matter how many you use? Not exactly, as long as you get the same finished product. But we're going to show you now how to draw a part that is comprised of 2 or more sketches. So I'm going to hit New Sketch. And when you do a second sketch, what it's now going to be looking for is, okay, where are you going to be drawing this? You can't choose the curve. You can only choose nice flat surfaces. So I'm going to draw it right on top. The crosshairs are still there, meaning that this is right here the origin. And the origin, by the way I drew it, is at the exact center of this arc. So that's going to be really convenient for me. I'm going to rotate this a little bit so it might line up more so with what you're expecting. And I'm going to draw a circle. And 2 circles that have the same center are what we call concentric. Concentric circles are two or more circles that have the same center. So I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to drag that out. And that has a diameter of 4. And that's actually it for this sketch. Now, I can extrude this, and if I extrude it in the other direction, it could have been the hole on the one side. Right, if I went this way and went all the way through, that's the hole on the one side. If I add material and go up 2, on the other side, we are working towards building that tiered section. So now I can do another 2D sketch. This time I'm going to draw it right on top of the other one, and I'm going to keep building up from where I was before. If you want to look at the part from more so how you see it on the text sheet, you can go over here. Click the origin, make it a concentric, diameter 2, finish sketch, extrude, 2, and we are good. Okay, there's actually an easier way to have done that, but we're going to get to that in a later week. The easier way is called the revolve command. But for now, this is perfect, and that really wasn't too bad, right? So now we have to make the hole. There are 2 easy ways to make the hole. Actually, technically, I could have done the hole from the beginning, right? I could have went, if I go back to sketch 1, I could have on one of the sides, I don't remember, I think it was this side, I could have made the hole. So if I want to make the hole, had I gone back, right? So this is just a hypothetical, what I could have done. I could have made a little circle right here, and you could click on this center by either, if it doesn't appear, you can always hover over it, and then it usually appears. Was it 4? I don't know if that'll even work. Yeah, that got mad at me. But, you know, had I done this, I'll just kind of show you real quick. You could have done the hole right away. Right? You could have done that. But we didn't. So let's just humor it. So, how else can I draw the hole? Well, I can do a new sketch, right? I can do a new sketch. I can go right here, and I'm going to create a circle, and I want to draw it right there, but I don't want to measure anything, so I'm just going to kind of hover over this little arc right here, and then you'll see it appear. Click, 4, boom. If you want to look at it from the other way, so you can kind of see from the other side, that doesn't really help too much. But either way, that's it for that sketch. Finish it, extrude it. I want to go in the other direction, so I'm going to change the direction. And you can either change the distance, or you can change it to through all. And you want to cut, so boom. That's one way. You can then right click over here and delete this if you want to do it. The other way is to do the hole command. So I'm going to show you the hole command again. Hit hole. And you can click on, look at what it wants over here. You got to select the plane. Select the edge that you want it to be. And you want that concentric. So it automatically will pin it to that point. specify the diameter over here, which was 4, and you can change other terminations or directions if you wanted, but this looks good. Okay, not bad. I kind of like this is my home view, so I'm going to set this current view at home. And I'm going to save that. File, save as. You can just save it to your desktop, or you should probably have a better system for this. But for now, we'll just do it here. Chapter 6, Exercise 5. Then you can go ahead. You know what? I'll end this video, and we will pick up the next one where this one ended off.